Okay, so remember when I said that we were going to start back filming on YouTube? Well, the time is now. We're going to do a full run through of a cut crease. I think I'm only going to use like three shadows to make this super easy. So you guys can follow along, get your makeup out. We're going to be doing like a neutral cut crease with some browns and like I think I want to do like a warm brown and then a deeper brown on the like outer eyelid to kind of blend that out. And then we're going to use this beautiful MAC um, loose powder eyeshadow. This color, it is so pretty. It's like a beige color and it has like a little bit of shimmer in it. So we're going to use that for our cut crease. And then we're going to use the infamous Jaclyn Hill palette for our browns and our neutrals. So if you have that palette, get it out. If you don't, use what you have, girl. We are about to learn some makeup. So for starters, I have already did my eyeshadow primer. And this is what I use, the P. Louise. And this is Rumor 05. Let me see. I also have a couple of other colors from her. This is Rumor number 08, and it's very much darker. And then I also have a white one. So I went on her site and I think I got like the white, the middle shade, and then a darker shade. That way I could just mix them and I did not have to buy 5 or 6 of them. Be smart. Get the white, get a couple of the other warmer shades, and then just mix what you need for your clients. I always use Rumor number 5 because I feel like that is um, close to my skin complexion and it's not too light. If I want to go lighter when I'm using bolder or bright colors, I will go into the white and mix the 5 together and it just makes it lighter. So that's pretty much how that goes. I want to zoom in so you guys can see up close and personal. I'm going to take a clean, fluffy brush. I think the first shade that I'm going to go in with, I'm going to use this shade right here. I feel like because it's so warm and golden for what we're doing, that's going to be a good transition shade. All right, so I got a good amount of that. And then we're just going to pack it on. As you can see, it's not giving very much color, but it's doing just enough because that's what we want to be able to blend out our eyeshadows. This is giving me completely 2016 eye makeup because this is what we used to do. We had to have the transition shade. I remember I used to say, "What is the transition shade? Why do you need that?" I could just, oh my gosh, this is bringing back so many memories from YouTube. I think I even got some of my old YouTube makeup videos on here. I deleted a lot of them, but I kept some of them because you just have to. You just have to remind yourself how far you've come. Okay, so as you can see, that did do something, and it's pretty much the color of my skin complexion. So now we are going to go in with something a little bit deeper. I actually love this shade of brown that's in the palette. I love this one right here. It's like my favorite brown shade for my complexion. So I'm going to also take the fluffy brush that we just used, and then we're going to go right on top of the crease. So you're kind of overlapping the transition shade that you just did. Because that way you have that transition shade, you can see that it's already like blending itself instead of just applying this first and then having like harsh lines. I don't like harsh lines. All right, so now that we've done that, you can see that it's still kind of harsh to me. So we're just gonna go back in with that first shade. Y'all just stay with me because makeup, it can be a lot of steps, but once you get it, you get it. So we're just gonna lightly tap over the the line of the brown just so it blends a little bit better with the transition shade that we used. We're gonna get a smaller brush because this brush is a little bit too big to go into the crease. I don't want it to overlap and look like too much. This brush is just a little bit fluffier than what we just used. Not a little bit fluffier, it's a little bit smaller and fluffy than what we just used. Now I'm gonna go in with the really deep dark brown. And for this part, you want to take your time because now you have to apply it right at the crease for your cutout. And you want it to kind of overlap on the lid just a little bit. I'm gonna try to look in this mirror so y'all can see what I'm doing a little bit better. What I'm doing now is I'm just applying it exactly where I want the cutout to start. So that way we will have this defined line. That is what we want. Now I'm going to take this same brush we used before and just kind of lightly tap over that to blend into what's above it. Not underneath it, just above it. We want to stop right there. We don't want to blend it too much because we don't want to lose it. You will become better if you practice. I can remember I used to sit and watch YouTube for hours. I used to watch YouTube videos for hours. Now I'm teaching y'all what I learned. You will get better at it. Just don't give up. This is a flat brush. So you want that for your crease. All right, so now I'm going to take this really light shade that I showed y'all before. I like to put a little bit in the lid so I don't get too much. And it's just a tiny bit that I put in there. So that way I have more control over what I'm using and how much. So I don't think I need to wet this. Nope. It is very much pigmented. Sometimes I have to wet like loose eyeshadows, wet my brush, and then apply it. But with this, it's very pigmented. So we're just going to take a little bit. I say a little bit, but that looks like a lot to me. Let me just blow a little bit off because I want to have control. You can use your eyeshadow base to cut out the crease, or you can use concealer, or I've even seen people use makeup remover. Whatever floats your boat, you do what you want to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cut out my crease with the eyeshadow. So you need to make sure you have a steady hand for this part. Close your eye a little bit. I like to just apply it right where I'm going to start the crease and then work the product. Why haven't I used this? Like, it's been in my makeup kit forever and I never use it. This was free. I used to work at Mac, not that long. It wasn't that long. It wasn't even long enough for me to be telling y'all. But I used to work there and I did freelance makeup there. And one night I can remember asking the girl, like, what do they do with the makeup that people return that's still in good like shape? Nothing's wrong with it. They just didn't like it, or they tried on this lipstick and they didn't like the color. And you can take it back. Like, if you, I think most people know that if you buy makeup, you could take it back if you try it and you don't like it. So a lot of them will return it, or it was just something that we opened and it was a malfunction, and we would have to put it in the box, like a miscellaneous box. So I can remember one night I was asking her, like, what do they do with that? Because at that point, I was obsessed with makeup. I was obsessed with like real bad, for real, like real bad addicted. I asked her, like, what do y'all do with the makeup? And she was like, nothing. We throw it away. And I was like, what? Y'all are throwing away perfectly good makeup. And she was like, well, we have to. So one night, I can remember I was just looking through the box. I think this was a different lady, different manager that night. And she was like, just take something. She was like, if you want it, just go through there and pick out what you want. She was like, we're just gonna throw it away. Say less. So I did pick out some stuff, and this was one of the eyeshadows that I picked out. So I've had it for a while. I just never used it, and I don't know why. Because it's so beautiful. All right, so now we went back in with a little bit of dark. Now we're just gonna carve out. So anything that you messed up that you feel like is not lined up, this is the part where you can clean up. I wanted to show y'all how to do a cut crease this way because I feel like it's easier than carving out what you see the girls doing. That's a really good way to do it because your lines are much straighter, which I could show y'all that too another time. But this way, I feel like it's a lot easier for y'all to learn. So now we've just taken that dark color and carved out our cut crease. That's it. And now you have a beautiful cut crease. I'm going to take a little bit more of this shadow and kind of drag it out. Yeah, I understood the assignment. All right, so now I'm just dragging out the brown. This way, when I do my liner and clean this up, I'm gonna like carve it up and it's gonna give me like a wing look. As you can see, my finger just did that. That's pretty awesome. If you can't do wing liner, don't do this part. Because if you do this part and you mess it up, you're doomed. No, for real. I'm being honest. So I have a NYX eyeliner pen. I love these. So I'm just going to draw out from the outer corner and take your time with creating your line. If you have to do a little bit at a time, just do that. As you can see, I did a little bit and then I'm just adding to it instead of going straight across. You could do that, but I'm trying to teach y'all how to do it. And I think I'm going to cat eye mine. I'm going to bring down the liner some when I get done with my face because I can't do it now. If I do it now, my concealer is going to take it away. So I always go back after and add like a wing here. That makes sense. So for this part, I'm kind of just, I don't want to lose what I created right here. So I'm just going to follow that line right at the outer corner. And then I'm going to connect it. That's what I want. That is what I want right there. Thank you, God, because there's times where I mess that up. Now, there is a way that if you mess it up, don't try to clean it up with makeup. Try to clean it up with, um, what am I trying to say? Makeup remover. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second because I can make it a little bit sharper. So I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Let me do the other eye. Perfect today. That is what I never get right. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of the micellar water. So you don't need a lot, use a little bit. And then we're just going to make sure it's dry. Make sure the liner is dry. So we're just going to carve out like that. And now it made that even straighter. And it cleaned up any like eyeshadow that I had under there. Same thing over here. You kind of want to pull. And there it is. Done. Done. All right, now we are going to apply some lashes. I reuse my lashes, so I'm not gonna open or use a new pair. This Duo Lash Glue, we're gonna use that. And you wanna apply a thin layer and then let it dry for about 20 seconds. And then you're gonna apply the lashes because then the glue will get a little bit sticky and you don't have to try to like move it around. If you apply your lashes as soon as you put the glue on, you're gonna have a mess. You're just gonna have a mess. I'm going to use a mirror so I can kind of see down. I'm going to look down on the mirror so I can see exactly where I want to apply my lashes. See, like, I feel like this could have dried a little bit more because it's not sticking. Normally, as soon as I put it on there, it's sticking. But we're gonna roll with it. I remember when I used to put lashes on when I first started doing makeup, I could not use tweezers to put them on. So I would do it with my fingers. And I would just close my eye and then just put them on. But I was like, I want to learn how to do it with tweezers because I just felt like it was easier. At least it looked easier. We have our lashes on. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. See how easy that one was because it dried a little bit longer than the other one. Once we do face, we're going to finish the underneath, which I think underneath I'm just going to do black liner and kind of smoke it out a little bit. Let me do my face and then I'll be right back. Just going to do the underneath now that we are done with the face. So we're going to go back into that medium brown shade and just place it right up under the lower lash line. This is going to create like a smoky effect when you add your liner. Everything about makeup to me is taking your time and doing a little bit at a time instead of packing on too much and then you have to fix that. I like to use the Makeup by Mario liner. This has been the only eyeliner that I have used. I've probably used this for years now. I know the last like couple of years I've been using this because it don't make my eyes irritated. Like I've learned that I have issues with allergies and liners before was making my eyes like really red and irritated, but this one does not do that. Now we're going to go back in the palette with the deepest dark brown and just kind of place it right up under the waterline. If you can, if you cannot do this, don't do it. This part you don't have to do. You could literally stop here because you're done. You don't have to do this. Me, I'm extra. So I'm going to add a little bit to the inner corner. Now I'm just going to, let me get my mirror so you guys can see so I'm not completely looking down. I'm just going to go back and use that line of eyeliner that we did as my guide. And I'm just going to go straight out. But I have to connect right here in the inner corner. Just like that. I feel like that came out a little bit too far. But we're going to work with it because I can't fix it. I could, but it's going to cost me to do other steps and I don't want to do that. So we just going to leave it alone. We're just going to leave it alone. But that's what I wanted. So for lips, I just want to do, I'm just going to do a neutral today. I don't feel like I want color on my lips. So I'm just going to do like a brown and a nude color. So I'm using this LA Girl eyeliner. This is an eyeliner and the color is brown. They just say brown. So I like this because it's really dark. I started overdrawing my lips on accident. Like one day I did this, like I went too far up, and then I was like, wait a minute, I like it. The look of overdrawing your lips when I saw the girls doing it, I was like, that don't look good. Mm-mm. And look at me now. What a hater. I don't know. This ain't giving me nothing. Okay. We just gonna roll with it. It's just something about a glossy lip. It's time for me to take this sew in down. I'm gonna wash it and put it back in, and we're gonna do a middle part. this time. I'm a middle part girl, but sometimes I have the itch to do a side part. This completes the makeup look. I hope you guys learned something on this tutorial. Let me know what you guys want to learn next. I'm sure we'll be doing plenty of makeup looks here. So today we did a cut crease. Go do your makeup, girl. Go look fine. Go be fabulous. You're going to do a good job. Just take your time and follow the steps that we did today. Love you.